Hello, everyone. Get ready for an exciting new video where we will be diving deep into an insightful analysis of the USDJPY. I am thrilled to bring you fresh new insights following a highly successful week where we capitalized on last week's technical setup, handing us over 200 pips in profit. Last week was a nail biting experience as the fear of potential intervention from the Bank of Japan incited a risk averse sentiment across the market. We witnessed a tense 3.5 days consolidation phase, which finally gave way to a downward spiral during the second half of the week. And congratulations to everyone who stood resilient in the idea of selling the USD against the yen as we seize the opportunity and reap the rewards accordingly. As we gear up for the upcoming week, I have conducted a comprehensive analysis of the current market structure, uncovering potential trading opportunities that lie ahead. In today's video, I will share my findings with you, utilizing simple setups that will guide us through the current market structures. As usual, we will be relying on the power of trend lines, key levels, and chart patterns to gain valuable insight into the historical price movement of the USDJPY. But before we dive into the technical details for today, let's take a moment to reflect on the key moments from the previous week. By doing so, we gain a clearer understanding of our starting point and better equip ourselves to anticipate the potential path that lies ahead in the coming week. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, talking about last week's trading session, we had at the beginning of the week, I shared a commentary where I was talking about how the week has started on a very strong bullish momentum, as you can see here. And then we had a range between the 144.690 and the 144.230 level as a yardstick to guide our trading activity for the week. And following the situation we saw here, we expected that price action might likely be going to the upside based on the strong bullish momentum we had. But we later realized that we were wrong in that perspective as we saw how price dropped back within that range, and throughout the first half of the week price was actually maintained within that area to further emphasize the level of indecision in the market. Though we were thinking of price, the fact that price might likely go to the downside based on the way price action was being rejected at the 144.690. And during the second half of the week, we were opportune to be part of a strong bearish move to the downside, giving us over 200 pips in profit from all multiple entries that we had. So it was quite a very profitable week for everyone here. So well done, guys, for being on standby to catch this opportunity. And for those who would like to review this commentary for educational purposes, I already have the link in the description box of this current video. And if you are watching this from my YouTube channel, you will definitely see the link to this commentary at the top right hand side of your screen. So, with that being said, here, let's dive right into the business for today. So, what I was able to do here was to scale up into the daily time frame. Of course, I want to look at what has been going on in this market, and this was what I was able to come up with. And the first thing you will observe here is that price action has been bullish, especially since the beginning of this year. And in order to emphasize the strength of the buyers, I was able to connect the series of higher lows here to give us a beautiful ascending trend line, which is likely going to be one of the parameters that we are going to be using to guide our trading activity for this week. Now, if you look at what happened during the second half of last week after multiple rejection of the 145.00 zone, which happens to be the highest point price action has been for this year, you will see that price action appears to be going through a retracement phase. Now, the question at this point in time is how far will this retracement phase go? Probably in anticipation of another wave of bullish momentum, or is it going to turn out to be a huge sell off in this market? So one of the things I'm looking at is a potential move into the structure along the 141.00 area, which also shares a confluence with an ascending trend line, probably to incite another wave of bullish momentum. Or we could see a situation where price drops below that level to incite a sell-off, probably into the 137.500 or even break to the downside. Now, in order to answer this question, I was able to identify a simple setup that we can actually use to guide our trading activity for the upcoming week. And in order to do this, I scaled down into my 4 hours time frame where I was able to come up with a simple setup here and look at what we have. So I have a key level at the 142.500, an area which has been a major determinant of price action since the second week of the month of June. Now, if you look at the structure here, this level was initially a strong selling niche where we saw how buyers found it difficult to break through that level. The same thing also happened here, as you can see, before we had the final breakout of that structure during the last week of last month. And what we saw last week was a breakdown of that same zone here. So now the question is, will this trend continue to the downside, or are we going to be seeing a situation where price will retrace back into the 144.00 level, which was broken last week, to incite another wave of bearish momentum to the downside? Or are we going to be seeing a rejection of the 142.500 level where continued selling pressure will incite another bearish move to the downside now, now depending on how price action reacts to the 141.00 level will now determine how we are going to be taking the next move. So at this point in time, this is what I'm going to be using to guide my trading activity for this week. So I have the 142.500 level marked, the 144.00 area, which could still hold a retest of structure before another wave of bearish momentum happen. So these are the things I'm going to be looking at for this week. So all we just need to do at this juncture is to remain patient and wait to see how participants in the market will be reacting to the 142.500 zone during the early hours of the week to determine what our next line of action will be. But before I pause this video, I would like us to take a quick look at the economic calendar. As you all know, that these fundamental factors often manifest on the chart in technical patterns and price movement. And by monitoring the economic calendar, we can easily identify potential correlations between key economic releases and specific technical patterns. So on the economic calendar, I was able to pull out a handful of high impact events coming in from the US economic docket. And the first one is coming on Wednesday, July 12th, and that is the Consumer Price Index, which is considered to be a key indicator to measure inflation and changes in purchasing trends. And this event is one index that the Fed will be looking forward to, as this will help in deciding what the rate decision is going to be. Then on Thursday, we have the Producer Price Index, and on Friday, we also have the Michigan Consumer Consumer Sentiment Index. And you would agree with me that these are very high impact event that has will have an influence on price movement during the course of the week. And of course, participants in the market will be anticipating this event, and this anticipation will be reflected on the chart as price action. So we might likely see a choppy situation before price action moved in a particular direction, just as it has always done on the USDJPY in the last couple of weeks. So let's see what happens during around the 142.500 at the beginning of the week to decide what our next line of action will be. If you found the content helpful and useful in making your independent trading decision for the week, I will greatly appreciate your support by giving the video a thumbs up. Your likes are valuable to me and helps the algorithm promote the video to a wider audience of traders who may find the material beneficial. Thank you in advance for doing so. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to follow me on this channel for more of this insightful content. And by subscribing, you will always stay updated with the latest ideas I share, and of course, receive notifications whenever I upload new videos and commentaries. See you in the comment section on Monday morning as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye bye.